Yeah, I mean, BBL for me, I'd be the first to say that, T20 cricket wasn't necessarily my strongest format where I was able to contribute as much. But what I really enjoyed about the format was where I was able to bring my leadership and what you're seeing on the field and the tactics and strategy and being able to contribute that way. Obviously, you're still contributing with the bat and the gloves. But I really enjoyed, I guess, the requirement to, in some respects, you've got so much less time to kind of work through a decision or work through a strategy. So it's really quite snappy with your decision making, and that's a really fun thing to do. And I suppose comparing the two sides that I played with in terms of winning the Big Bash, our Brisbane Heat side, we certainly, we had a very up and down campaign that, we only just snuck into the finals. Most of it was on the back of Luke Commersback, who was having a very good season for us and scoring a lot of runs. And it was very typical of a Queensland-based or a Brisbane-based side, as that sort of almost underdog thing back to the wall and finding a way to win games and that sort of style, I guess, of play. Yeah. And we managed to do that. And, even right down to the final over in Perth, WA is a very difficult place to go and play. They've got a pretty hostile crowd. And, at the time they had a very good side as well. And we were able to go over there and again, managed to scrap our way to a win. And I was lucky in that final. Unfortunately, our skipper, James Hopes, had injured himself in the semi. So I took over the captaincy in that semi-final and then in the final and really, as I said, really enjoyed the challenge of being out there under the pressure of, obviously must-win games, but also, the lack of the time that you've got to make decisions. You've got to be really sharp and be really clear on what you're trying to do. So that was a lot of fun. And, contrasting that with the Sydney Thunder, by that stage I sort of was wanting something just to sort of freshen up my cricket. And while I probably never imagined myself playing anywhere outside of the state of Queensland, that's one of the great things that T20 cricket and Big Bash has done is players are able to move around a lot more and, broaden their experience, both playing-wise, but also with the people that they're around. I know for me, what I really loved was going to another group that seemed so different from where I was, but then you get in amongst it and you learn, this is the way they do things. Yep, we do that in Queensland, but hey, they do these things differently as well. So really learning about the similarities and the differences. But that particular campaign was really fun because the Sydney Thunder squad that we had for the couple of years I was there was a really it was put together very strategically by obviously superstar Mike Hussey, but the general manager at the time, Nick Cummins, as well. They were and the coach Paddy Upton, very strategic about the players that they I guess almost handpicked. I know from my particular personal spot, Mike had sort of said to me, look, one of the things we want, he said, I'm not worried. We're not bringing you here to score any runs. We know you'll do the job behind the stumps, but we want someone who knows how to win games, who knows how to play in pressure situations and win in situations where it seems like it's unwinnable. And they it was almost like each player or each position, they sort of had a bit of a criteria for what they wanted to bring to the group, and they sort of, put a group together. And ultimately in that BBL06, we were able to, go all the way. And again, we had some very good standout individual performances. That was the season Trey Ruff sort of made his name, I guess, in the Big Bash. And when you've got guys like Mike Hussey and Jacques Callis in the side, there's plenty of talent there. But that was great fun too, as I said, particularly to go and experience, a different way of doing things at that point in time in my career. It was a really enjoyable thing to freshen up the mind.